Hey everybody, it's Yesenia from WriterMom.net, and I am excited to be here with you today and share with you 6 proven methods for selling more books and finding new readers. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Say hi, tell us where you're from, and any questions that you may have, just drop them below. Okay, so last week when we chatted, I was talking about what social media is actually for and how a lot of new authors actually use it wrong and they expect to get a lot of book sales from social media or to find new readers. And that's not really what social media is for. And what it's really for is for building relationships with your current readers, the readers who have already read your book and they want to know more about you. And so today, that's why I'm here to share with you 6 methods that actually work for selling more books and finding new readers. These 6 strategies are ones that I have used myself and found effective for increasing sales, getting more email subscribers as an indie author of YA contemporary romance. Since 2014, I have published 8 books across 2 completed series. And so since I've been in the game for, over 3 years now, I've been able to find out, what works, what doesn't work for selling books. And, all 6 of these strategies are something that I wish someone had shared with me when I was first starting out. And, they should save you a lot of time and frustration. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into strategy number 1 for selling more books and finding new readers. So number 1 is to create a reader magnet. Okay, so you may have heard of this one before. A lot of authors are doing it now, and they're doing it because it really works. And it really is a great way, not necessarily to find readers, but whoever does find you, to get them onto your email list. Let's talk about why an email list is important, first of all, because as we go into these strategies, I'm going to keep mentioning your email list. And it all goes back to why it's so important. Okay, so one of the most important things that you can do as an author is to build your email list. Why? Because this is how you can communicate with your readers regularly. Now, you could do this on social media as well, but there's algorithms, which means that your posts are not always going to get seen. Social media platforms die off. Like, remember MySpace? That's not even really around anymore. So you wouldn't want to lose all your followers that you spent all this hard time building and finding, and then now nobody's on there anymore. And emails has pretty much stuck around since it was invented, and it's still being used, and it's not going away. And so you want to get their email address. Whatever reader finds you and joins your list, that's someone that you're going to be able to stay in contact with no matter what, and let them know what's coming. Share book 2 with them, whatever book they need to be reading next. You can remind them to leave a review, invite them to join your street team. Your email list is so powerful for staying in touch with your readers and letting them know what you want them to do. Okay, so this is why you're going to create a reader magnet. This is why it's such a good strategy, because a reader magnet is going to entice them or convince these new readers to give you their email address so that they will be on your list, and now you can contact them whenever you want, pretty much, without spamming them, obviously. So let me go ahead and explain to you what a reader magnet is. A reader magnet is basically an ethical bribe. So you're giving them something in exchange, giving them something of value in exchange for their email address. Okay, and so this could be a short story. It could be a deleted or a bonus scene from your book. It could be a free prequel. If you're nonfiction, it could be some kind of a starter guide, a checklist, a template, a cheat sheet, anything like that complements your book, which they just bought and are reading or have just finished reading. And so, for example, I have a free prequel novel for my first YA romance series. And in the front and back matter of all of the books in that series, I entice my readers to join my email list and become a VIP reader. And in exchange, they will receive this prequel novel, full-length novel in my case, which is, very valuable. It's not just like a short story. So not just anybody's going to give away a free entire book. And they also get to find out what happened to these characters before the start of book one. So that's a really good strategy. Chris Fox does this too for his written to market books. He actually releases the reader magnet before the first book to go ahead and jumpstart his email list for that series and for the launch and everything. And that way they're reading the prequel, like whatever happens before book one, it's still important. It's something that, you know, you don't have to know, but readers are going to want to know more about. Like maybe how these characters came to be, or something important from their past, something like that. And now they're really want to read a book one whenever it comes out. Or it's something that if they just finished reading book one, it's something they want to know more about. So they're going to want to join your email list in order to receive that and read it, okay? And now, because of that, they're going to be on your email list. If you're doing nonfiction, it could also be a companion course. I've seen that done. That's also like a really good option if you're a nonfiction author. Any kind of extra helpful info if your nonfiction is good. And for fiction, it's just anything that goes along with your story that your readers will want to know more about. And so you're going to put the sign up link for this reader magnet in the front and back of your book, and it's just going to link to your website or a lead page or something like that where they will actually sign up for your email list and they will automatically get this reader magnet. And I use BookFunnel for this to deliver the reader magnet, and it works great. It's easy. It's like doesn't cost an arm and a leg. It's one of my favorite author tools. So definitely look them up if you haven't already, BookFunnel. And then make it all easy on both ends for the reader and for you. Again, like we said, this comes back to building your email list. If you don't have a reader magnet, your readers aren't really going to have any kind of reason to join your email list. They already get tons of emails in their inbox every day. Like, why should they join your newsletter? Like that alone, just saying, join my newsletter, that is nowhere near enough to convince them to sign up. So give them a good reason to sign up for your list. Make it about them and what they're going to get. And if you can make it exclusive, make it something they can't find anywhere else. So I used to have my prequel novel up for sale on Amazon and everywhere else, and I actually took it down, and now it's not available anywhere else. And I specifically say that you cannot buy this. It's worth $5 because it's a full-length book, and it's just for my VIP readers. And so, I mean, that's going to make it a no-brainer for your readers to join your list. So that was strategy number one, is to create a reader magnet for your books and put it in the front and back matter to go ahead and start building your email list. And if you're really smart and you're a new author, you can even start doing this before your book one launch. So number two is to cross promote with other authors in your subgenre. So you're going to be getting in front of their readers, and if you're new and you don't have any readers of your own yet, this is a great way to build up your own email list and, you know, have a strong launch where it's not just crickets. So you're going to get in front of somebody else's readers, and of course you need to come to them with something of value. The biggest way that you can do this, that I've seen this work, is through a newsletter swap. So you don't want to just like go to their Facebook page and get to take over their Facebook page. I mean, that's better than nothing if that's all you can get. But the best way to do this, to cross promote, is to do a newsletter swap. And so you're going to send them info. You're going to send this author info about your new book, and hopefully, you know, it should be a really good offer. So it should be like a 99-cent pre-order or release, or like a freebie of some sort, maybe the free first few chapters, some kind of insta freebie download for that reader magnet, maybe anything like that of value that they can get for cheap or free. And you know, it's something that their readers are going to like, and these are going to become some of your new readers. Okay? And so this can be, you know, really, really great, because if you can get 5, 10, 15 authors in your subgenre to help you out during your launch. I just saw an author do this through our YA romance group, and she got, like, her book did great. It sold a lot. It got the bestseller tag for its category. It was #1. It did great. And a big part of this was that she did newsletter swaps with a bunch of authors in our genre. Okay, and so again, this is great because now they are discovering your book. They're going to see a sign-up link for your newsletter, and it's a great way to jumpstart a new launch. And the way to do this is if you just go on Facebook and you do a search, you might find some groups that way, or if you're in the 20 books to 50K group, post on there and see if there are any other authors in your subgenre who would be interested in cross-promoting, or like in the Smarter Artists group, or any other group like that where there are a bunch of authors hanging out, and they may even let you know about some other specific groups that are just for your genre, and you can join in, and suddenly, you have access to all of these authors. And then another important thing to do is to remember to give back as well. So if they help you out, remember to help them out. Promise to do so whenever you post, because obviously you're new, they've never heard of you, and just have something great to give them, to give their readers, and remember to give back, obviously. Number 3 is to try giveaways. And this is worth seeing just to see how effective it is for your genre. It might not work for every genre. It can work well in the romance genres. You want to kind of research what other authors in your genre are doing. If they're doing giveaways, what kind are they? And just see what you can do, if you can join in or do something on your own or with a few different authors. An easy way to do this is to join InstaFreebie or BookFunnel, and you can organize a giveaway there and just have readers trickling in, or specifically gather with other authors in your genre and really try to make a big giveaway and gather lots of new subscribers. That's kind of the whole point of a giveaway, is to, again, you're offering them something of value. They have a chance to win, a bundle of paperbacks, a bundle of ebooks, some kind of a prize, and they're going to give you their email address in exchange. And now you have these people, these readers who like your subgenre, because you're giving away something related to your subgenre, and now you have a good jump start to your email list. And then once you do that, you're going to email them, add them to your list, email them, introduce yourself, remind them where they came in from. I like to include the giveaway graphic that I used. And then remember to clean out your list after a few weeks of anybody who's not engaging with you. And that can happen with giveaways. A lot of readers might just be in it for their chance to win, and if they didn't, they kind of don't care about hearing from you, and that's fine. They're not your readers, so then just clean out your list a few weeks after, so you're not paying for these unengaged subscribers. And another good resource for giveaways is Ripley Patton. So look her up on Facebook or her website, Ripley Patton, Patton. She does giveaways in the YA and NA subgenres for a small fee, but she kind of does everything, and you kind of just pay her that small fee and she does everything for you. And so she's another good resource. So far we've done 3 strategies. Number 1 was create a reader magnet. Number 2 was cross-promote with other authors in your genre. Number 3 was try giveaways. And maybe they don't work for you, never do one again, but worth trying. Number 4 is to run book sales with a stacked newsletters every 6 to 12 months. Okay, this is a really great strategy. And I like it because it's good for bumping up your sales for that month and for the next few months afterward. And not just for that book. You're going to see higher sales across your series, across your whole catalog. And for the next 2 or 3 months, you should see a really good bump in sales. And so this is good for making sure that your sales don't go up and then they go down, or just for keeping them consistent, or for gradually increasing your sales as well. And so to do this, you need to make your book 99 cents or free instead of the regular price. And you need to plan this out at least a month in advance so that you can book some of these newsletters, because you need to apply. You might need to pay for, usually there's a fee associated with it, and they might not accept everyone. And so you really need to plan out which ones you're going to apply for, what their deadline is for submissions, and things like that. So make sure you give yourself at least, a month to start planning this out and apply and figure out your budget and all of that. Book Club is obviously going to be the best one, but they're really hard to get. Some of the other good ones are ENT, Free Booksy, K Books and Tips, Robin Reads, which I've heard good things about, and I've used all of the other ones, which I can recommend. And then ask around in some of these author groups which ones have worked for other authors in your genre, because some of these different book newsletter services might work better for different genres. I've heard Free Booksy and Bargain Booksy. I've heard Free Booksy if you have a free book, works a lot better than just having a 99-cent book and doing a bargain Booksy. And with book newsletters, what you want to do is you want to stack them, which means you don't want to book them all the same exact day, because your book is not going to be as sticky if you just have like this one giant leap in your sales. What Amazon wants to see, what the algorithm wants to see, is like this increase. And so start booking some of the smaller ones, you know, and then some of the bigger ones. And then if you get something big like an ENT or a BookBub, you know, book it for the last day. And so do this over like 3 to 5 days, depending on how many you get and how much money you have to spend on these, and try to build up to a spike, and then you should see some good results. Okay, and then number 5 is to experiment with ads. So experiment with Amazon or Facebook ads, and these can be another really good consistent strategy for bringing in sales and finding new readers if you have the time to experiment and learn. And if you don't, you know, it's going to be really hard to do so, because if you don't have a lot of time, you don't want to just throw your money away, and you don't even have time to monitor and learn from your ads and find out how to do them better. Okay, so make sure you have time and a little bit of extra money to put into this and really learn and start to do a good job with them. If you want to try out Facebook ads, look into Michael Cooper's book, and he's on Facebook in the 20 Books to 50K group. And for AMS ads, check out Brian Meeks. He has his own group on Facebook, and he has a book as well. And again, like I said, this can take time to really learn and master, and things are always going to be changing when it comes to ads. But there have been tons of people who just weren't really selling that much at all, and then they spent a few months learning and tweaking and finding out what works, and now they have a really good ROI, and their sales, you can just tell where they started to go up, because they took the time to learn. And it's not just about the ads themselves. You really need to focus on learning how to write effective copy, enticing copy, studying other ads that are working for other people, seeing what works for headlines, experimenting with headlines, ad copy, tweaking your book description, making sure you have a good cover and a look inside. So at all points of the process of these readers coming in and finding you, making sure that, you know, they are enticed and 100% want to like click the buy link. And again, just start out with a small budget. It doesn't have to be a lot. It could be $1 per day, $2 per day, as you see what works. And then before you start spending a ton of money and you know, spending more, you want to figure out what works first. The next strategy is to try perma-free or perma 99 cents. And so obviously you want to try this with your book 1 in a series, because you wouldn't do that with any of the other books, book 2 or book 3, because you want them to come in the beginning, and then they're going to see like the rest of the books. They're going to want to go on and buy the rest. This worked really well for me in 2015. It got me a lot of visibility for my first YA romance series on iBooks and on Amazon, and I was seeing tons of downloads a day, even when I was doing 0 promo. And sometimes I would just see like these random huge spikes as well, and of course it went like I saw sell through into the rest of the books. And so I think this is a really good strategy. I hear it's a lot less effective now, but it's still worth trying, especially if you're in the romance genres. And if you know you want to stay wide, you don't want to risk going into KU, this is a really good strategy and a good way to do evergreen promo if you're limited on time, if you have kids, you have a job, or both. This is a good way to just consistently keep readers discovering you and your books. And of course, I like it because even though you're not making any money on book 1, because it's free or 99 cents, you should see good sell-through on the rest of your books if you have good books and you really took your time, you know, working on those stories. And another good thing that I like about this strategy is that you always have something to share. When another author comes up to you and asks, hey, does anybody have anything I can share with my readers? I need something to share in my newsletter. Does anybody have anything that's free or 99 cents? And so you can always say, me, you know, I have something to share, and you just share that link and you know it's already ready to go. And so that's always cool. And you can also try this with InstaFreebie. I have that prequel novella for my first series. It's up on InstaFreebie and it's just up there all the time. And so that's something that I can use to, you know, share with other authors, because, you know, the readers can come in and start that series and continue on. But if it's just InstaFreebie, it might not be as effective, and other authors might not want to share those links as much. So this works best if it's like on Amazon and all the other retailers. Okay, so we have gone through all 6 strategies now. Let me just do a quick recap. So number 1 was create a reader magnet. Number 2, cross-promote with other authors in your subgenre. Number 3 was to try giveaways. Number 4 was to run book sales with stacked newsletters every 6 to 12 months. Number 5 was to experiment with ads. Number 6 was try perma-free or perma 99 cents for your book 1 of your series. And so you can try any one of these at any time, but if you especially want to find tons of new readers and sell more books, try a combination or even all of these, as much as you can. Maybe start with one at a time and just start incorporating more and more strategies as you master one and go on to the other. But of course, always remember, marketing is important, but the most important thing that you can do in your author business is to always be writing the next book. Always do this first and then put marketing second. And for marketing, focus on growing your email list first. Even before selling more books, I think, honestly, is to grow your email list, because you can make a sale, but they're just going to buy your book once. But if they get on your email list, you can email them over and over and tell them what else is going on and share the rest of your catalog. And so your marketing should either lead back to signing up for your newsletter or actually getting sales, not social media followers or anything else. And so yeah, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps. Remember to leave any questions in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them. If you found this video helpful, please click like or share. And thank you so much. I will see you next week. Have a great rest of your day and keep creating your art. Bye.